Jesse McCartney, 107.5 KZL, the #1 new music station. Hey, Scott, just playing Scott. Of course, Jesse on stage tonight with Jordan Sparks, Greensboro Coliseum. And somebody just showed up to the studio here while the song was playing. Welcome, Jesse McCartney, to the studios of 107.5 KZL. How are you?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. You're a little taller than your picture.
Well, it's probably been a while since anyone has seen me. I've been away for a while, but...
Well, the picture on your CD here, it's over, just shows a face shot, so that's why.
Yeah, that's probably why. But yeah, grown a few inches in the last couple years.
Yeah, you look like you're hyped, and I understand that you are actually going to be taking over the radio station and doing a show here on 107.5 KZL later this afternoon.
I'm gonna host it down, man.
That is just amazing, because I'd always heard for a long time that DJs secretly have this desire to be pop stars,
right?
Rock stars.
We secretly have desires to be radio
it's
DJs.
This weird, twisted reversal thing. So, just a couple of questions here, because I know time is short. You got to get ready for the show tonight, and obviously got a lot of fans waiting for you. But I'm curious, what are some of the things that fans do that really annoy you? Because I'm sure you're asked questions all the time. Oh, you love the fans, and what's the great? But there must be some things, and we hear about the paparazzi all the time, bugging stars, celebrities. What are some of those things that just really turn you the wrong way?
I must say, like, there really isn't a lot. I really owe this whole career that I have to them. You know, like we're all human, so there's like any other day when you wake up and you just don't feel like going to work, or you don't feel like talking to anybody.
You have those days?
I absolutely have those days, when I'm, especially early in the morning, because I'm not a morning person. And I'm sitting there having breakfast, or I'm, trying to read or do something, and someone comes up and, I don't know. There's times where you just would rather not be bothered, but at the same time, like when you think back on it, the reason that I can do what I do and get up on stage every night and travel to North Carolina and come perform is because of the fans. So
this is what you do. It's your
profession. It's what I do.
Now I'm curious, how often do people just assume that you are Paul McCartney's son?
A lot of people. A lot of people that I worked with too, especially on this last album. I would come into the studio and they'd be like, "So, your father's Paul?"
Oh,
like,
no.
No, my father, no, definitely not. I mean, it'd be cool to be some, sort of relative, but it's, no, there's no relation.
And the internet probably makes it a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those common misconceptions.
Yeah. Obviously, whether people think you're his son or not, people love you. I mean, I haven't given out any phone numbers, and the telephones are just exploding here. What was it like being an actor on All My Children? That had to have been something, a classic soap opera like that?
It was great, man. That was one of my, first formal acting gigs, and I had the chance to work with a lot of really cool actors who are still on that show.
Yeah.
I go back to New York, because that's where I'm from, and I'll stop by the studios, the ABC studios, and say hi to everybody, and nothing's changed, it's like a little, time capsule. But everyone,
you show up and say, "I'm Paul McCartney's son, I'm ready to go on."
I worked with a lot of really cool people, man. It was definitely a great way to start my TV career.
Yeah, and then the singing career, you did a duet with Anne Hathaway. Now, would you ever consider actually doing one with Paul McCartney? I mean, if you asked,
would I consider doing a song with Paul McCartney?
I mean, that was a dumb question.
I'd consider it. Depends on the schedule. Depends on the schedule.
Yeah. Maybe tour with him?
Oh man, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I grew up listening to all of his stuff.
Yeah.
And I listened to all the Beatles albums as a kid. He's one of my biggest influences as a child.
Just imagine the marketing ideas. The McCartney and McCartney tour, right. Face-to-face. Well, face-to-face was taken already.
It'd be an interesting crowd, having Paul McCartney and Jesse McCartney on the same ticket.
Yeah,
a bunch of 55, 60-year-olds, and then a bunch of 5- and 6-year-olds.
Exactly. There's no question about it. I mean, that was the idea I came up with, but then, I'm not on your promotional crew.
Right.
However, if I ever am looking for work, you leave your cell number. I'm kidding. Now, there are probably some ladies out there who think you look good on a billboard ad for maybe PETA or something like that, where the celebrities appear in the buff. What are your favorite causes and charities? What are you into to help out? Because that's a really big buzz thing today.
I do a lot of work with children's charities. I work a lot with kids. I've done a lot for years I've been working with Make-A-Wish and charities like Variety and anything really that sort of, helps out with the youngsters. I have 2 younger siblings myself, a sister who's 17 and a brother who's going to be 12. And I don't know, I connect really well with kids, and you know, when I see somebody that has some sort of unfortunate circumstance, it's really nice to be able to get in there and help out.
Star power probably goes a long way.
I think it's sort of our duty, you know. I think anyone in this industry who has this amount of, you know, recognition or power, or just any, you know, can communicate on this vast scale.
And a lot of celebrities using their star power for political reasons. Now we're in the presidential campaign season. By the way, care to spill it who you're supporting in the presidential campaign?
I'll be supporting Barack. I watched the whole, I watched his speech a couple nights ago, and I actually, I was really, really moved, really touched. So I think he would make an amazing president.
Okay, well, somebody's going to hold you to that someday, since you just said it here on 107.5 KZL. And one other question, this is not what I came up with, but somebody I work with had to know about the rumors, and you can feel free to plead the fifth on this, but rumors that you were dating Aubrey from Danity Kane. And again, if you want to plead the fifth, that's fine.
Yeah, that's never, you know, this, I feel like, wow, I feel like I've been clearing this one up for months. I met her in New York, literally months ago. We had a show up in New York for a radio station, and afterwards myself and her and a few of her friends and my friends went out to dinner one night and then out to a club. But that was about as far as it went. After that, we didn't really lift from there.
Now I'm relating to that. That's as far as it went. I'm feeling you on that. This new single here, It's Over, that we're about to hear, what's this about? What's the inspiration on this?
It's Over was written and produced by The Clutch, who are a group of writers and producers that work out of Atlanta. One of the writers is Carrie Hilson, who I'm sure a lot of you guys know from her single with Timbaland, The Way I Are.
Absolutely.
And they're a really established group of writers, and you know, they wrote this song, and it pretty much sums up what it's like at the end of a relationship, that feeling that you have when you know that it is indeed over. You know, I think a lot of the fans will be able to sort of relate to this song. It's pretty accessible.
And it's just beginning for the fans who are going to catch you tonight on stage, Greensboro Coliseum, along with Jordin Sparks.
It's going to be a great show. I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, we are so glad to have you here in Piedmont Triad, North Carolina. Listen, have a great show, and have a great on-air show today, later here on 107.5 KZL. That's going to be awesome to hear.
It's going to be great, man. I'm looking forward to hosting it.
Jesse, thank you so much for
buddy.
coming up. Really appreciate that. I'd reach over to shake your hand. Newest from Jesse McCartney. It's Over on the #1 new music station, 107.5
KZL.